I am thankful for my intelligence, I appreciate my memory, and I'm grateful for my skills of concentration and focus. I am much more intelligent than I think I am, especially when faced with things that I find challenging. I am ready to believe in my mental and physical abilities. Learning gives me faith in myself. I am determined to reach my fullest potential without feeling overwhelmed or discouraged by the process. I am patient with my own learning process and the learning needs of others. I love learning due to my deep passion for knowledge. I am a lifelong learner. I enjoy expanding my knowledge, and each day is a great day to learn something new. I am very skilled at the art of awareness, being easily aware of my surroundings and everything that is happening around me. I am grateful for my creative, innovative, logical, and analytical mental skills. I believe in my ability to learn. I am a very quick learner, and my memory gets better every day, easily remembering important information, details, and facts. I am proud of myself for memorizing everything so well. My memory skills are improving every day. I am a curious person with lots of interests. New information flows easily into my memory. I am great at remembering small details since I have a photographic memory, both in short-term and in long-term memories. I am always exercising both my intelligence quotient and my emotional intelligence, being masterful at all types of intelligence. I am aware there are different types of intelligence, therefore I respect and admire everyone's special blend of intellectual gifts. I am now adept at logical mathematical intelligence skills, being deeply attuned with my reasoning skills and critical thinking. I am very skilled at drawing conclusions by connecting different pieces of information, evidence, and facts. I am effortlessly able to think logically, analyze, and reach the conclusion to any problem or situation. I am very sharp with my deductive reasoning, easily perceiving important details, recognizing patterns, and reaching solutions. I am mathematically inclined. I love the challenge of solving everyday math problems and calculating mathematical equations when necessary. I am confident in my math skills, especially in my ability to notice patterns and relationships in math problems. I am now adept at linguistic-verbal intelligence skills, being deeply attuned with my ability to use language as a tool to express my thoughts. I am easily becoming very skilled at listening, reading, and using words effectively both in writing and speaking. I am very gifted at learning languages, as well as the complexities of words, sentence structures, meanings, and sounds. I am developing a rich vocabulary, which allows me to enhance my language skills and communicate in an effective manner. I am a natural communicator, speaking fluently with a powerful selection of words and clarity in the way I articulate my thoughts. I am falling in love with reading, and I'm constantly finding written works that truly spark my interest, inspiring me at a deeply personal level. I am now adept at Bodily-Kinesthetic Intelligence skills, being deeply attuned with my sense of body awareness and all physical movements. I am developing a strong use of body language. My body language is coherent to my speech and makes me approachable to everyone. I am gaining excellent motor skills and coordination, with a high sense of self-awareness of my body inwardly and outwardly. I am keenly aware of my body, balance, elegance, and speed, with a strong sense of timing and physical performance. I am becoming very skillful at coordinating my body, as well as maneuvering and handling objects with grace, strength, speed, and agility. I am effortlessly learning through movement and experimentation. It's fun to build, craft, fix, and figure out how things work. I am also becoming skilled at handling technology, be it electrical, mechanical, communicational, or even different types of systems software. I am now adept at Visual-Spatial Intelligence skills, being deeply attuned with my sense of space, distance, and measurement. I am developing a good spatial judgment and reasoning, allowing me to orient myself easily and visualize the world accurately. I am very observant of colors, tones, lines, shapes, designs, and the relationships between these elements. I am grateful for my ability to perceive, analyze, and memorize visual information in the world around me, including the creations inside my own mind's eye. I am capable of grasping the whole picture of a concept or situation before acknowledging and focusing on the smaller details. I am in awe of my ability to visualize objects, as well as rotating, transforming, and manipulating them within my vivid imagination. I am now assimilating new knowledge through imagery, leading me to a sharp photographic memory, creativity, visual mapping skills, and spatial awareness. I am passionate about my creative intelligence skills. They allow me to think outside the box and have a keen sense of innovative problem solving. I am profoundly creative, being skilled at seeing things and problems from different angles, as well as connecting unexpected ideas and concepts. I am able to come up with novel ideas and innovative solutions, easily turning them into reality. I am developing a flexible mindset that can think abstractly and adapt quickly to any environment. I am now adept at Naturalistic intelligence skills, being deeply attuned with the natural world and my knowledge regarding nature. I am falling in love with exploring, learning, and engaging with the natural world, its elements, animals, plants, and minerals. I am excited by activities that revolve around connecting with nature, and I am attuned with the weather and my sense of direction. I am connected to the knowledge of how to truly grow, care, and empathize with different types of animals, plants, and the environment. I am now gaining a deep appreciation towards the study of the forms and patterns seen on the geometry of the natural world. I am now adept at Existential intelligence skills, being deeply attuned with my capacity to comprehend philosophical studies. I am connected to the wisdom of universal consciousness, and I seek to gain deeper levels of knowledge regarding philosophy and spirituality. I am fascinated by human nature and the purpose of human existence, learning the truth behind life, death, reality, and everything beyond. I am now finding a sense of purpose and enlightenment that aids me in experiencing a more meaningful life, uniquely designed for me. I am grateful for my deep connection to fundamental questions, the universal laws, and the principles of reality. It helps me win at the game of life. I am proud of my philosophical and spiritual knowledge, and I am masterful at applying it in practical everyday situations. I am now adept at musical intelligence skills, being deeply attuned with my ability to connect with music and musical patterns. I am learning to keenly detect rhythms, patterns, notes, tones, and pitches in music, leading me to a stronger appreciation for musical structure. I am developing an ear for music and its depth, enjoying both music as a whole and its varied nuances, patterns, and details. I am becoming even more aware and drawn to sound and rhythm, along with an uncanny talent to recognize and remember songs. I am thankful for my increasing appreciation of songs, melodies, instruments, sounds, and different types of music. I am now adept at interpersonal intelligence skills, being deeply attuned with knowledge regarding charisma, psychology, and relationship management. I am gifted in the art of communication, being naturally skilled at teamwork, conflict management, setting healthy boundaries, and expressing myself. I am learning how to pick up on temperaments, moods, and motivations by observing people's behaviors, body language, and speech patterns. I am able to adapt to most social situations, being attentive to the needs and motivations of others, along with possible hidden intentions. I am skilled at socializing, reading people, actively listening, understanding, as well as empathizing with everyone I interact with. I am learning to excel at dialogue, texting, debates, collaborations, presentations, and lively discussions, easily establishing rapport with others. I am influential and capable of asserting my points to any audience clearly. People absolutely love my wit and intelligence. I am also skilled at my pedagogical skills, facilitating others to comprehend me when I teach and explain both simple and complex topics. I am developing a keen ability to instruct and convey information to others, considering and managing their learning styles and needs. I am now adept at interpersonal and emotional intelligence skills, being deeply attuned with my inner world, thoughts, and emotions. I am effortlessly skilled at looking inward and figuring out my needs, motivations, and goals, being aware of both my strengths and limitations. I am self-reflective and introspective. My enhanced self-awareness allows me to easily manage my emotions, solve personal problems, and make decisions. I am skillful at handling my inner thoughts, feelings, and urges, having a deep connection to all aspects of my identity and emotional landscape. I am grateful to have such a close bond with all aspects of myself. They allow me to easily be creative, overcome inner resistance, and find self-motivation. I am empathic with myself in my inner communication. My emotional maturity grants me mastery at both my intrapersonal and interpersonal intelligence skills. I am one with every aspect of my psyche and consciousness. I deeply connect with every single part of me and all that I am. I am that I am.